Shana Tova, y'all. I hope you find this Tashlich meditation meaningful. Tashlich is a time for casting away the last crumbs of the year before. It's a time to release them from our hands and our hearts and to just let those sins, those missed marks, drift away from us. Today, we'll focus on releasing. So I'm going to invite you to get into a comfortable position, whether that is sitting or lying down or reclining. And I want you to take a moment to feel yourself. You feel the points at which your body makes contact, the groundedness, where it connects. Feel present in this moment. Place your hand over your chest and feel your lungs expand and contract. Notice your breath. Breathe comfortably in and out. Recognize your natural breathing pattern in and out at your own pace. In and out. Starting at the bottom of your feet. Focus on how you're feeling. Is there tension? Are you at ease? Continue noticing your body, moving up through your ankles, your calves, over your knees, to the top of your thighs and into your hips. Continue to breathe in and out. Deep breaths in and out. Now notice your lower back. How does it feel? Is there discomfort? Is there tension? Do you need to move it a little to feel how it's feeling? Now move up along your spine and focus your energy at the top, right here in your shoulders. In and out. Don't forget to breathe. Then move down your arms into your wrists and your hands. How do they feel? Are they sore? Are they bruised? Are they hydrated? Feel your lungs expand and contract as you breathe comfortably and easily in and out. Notice your neck. Roll your head around gently to feel the areas of tension and soreness. Take a deep breath and release. Now that we're in a relaxed position and we're focused on this moment, I want you to start to think back through the past year. And I want you to let images enter and exit your mind. Small moments, meaningful moments, smells, pictures, faces. Think back now to last Elul, last September. Where were you at this high holiday cycle? What promises had you made? What goals did you have for the coming year? Draw in a deep breath and release it. Now move into late September and October, the middle of fall. the Hebrew month of Tishrei, which also has the holiday of Sukkot. It's the time for harvesting. What kinds of benefits did you reap this year? Were they financial? Were they educational? Were they experiential? See if you can recall them now. Take a deep breath in and release it. Think about November now, roughly the Hebrew month of Cheshvan. Late fall, colder weather, the natural world slowly moving from bountiful to barren as winter moves in, so that the cycle can begin again in spring. Think about the changes that you made in your life this year. What patterns did you break? What new work did you take on? We take a deep breath. Draw it in, let it out. We move slowly from November into December, the Hebrew month of Kislev, the month that has Hanukkah, a holiday of lights and beautiful miracles and delicious oily food. In what ways did you bring light or goodness into the world this year? What miracles happened in your life? Take a deep breath in and release. We begin to think about January and February, the Hebrew month of Tevet, and then the month of Shvat, the month that has within it Tu B'Shvat, the festival of the trees, a time for planting. Think about the new projects that you started this year, new plans that you've made, seeds that you planted for your family, for your future. You take a deep breath in and release. And we move from late February and into March, the Hebrew month of Adar, and the end of winter. During Adar, we celebrate Purim, a festival of fun and revelry. We think about the joy that came into our lives this year. In what ways were we silly? Can we think of the moments where we laughed? We draw in a deep breath and release. And another big deep breath. Well, as we move further into March, I want you to think about how the pandemic first crept into your life. Much like mine, I'm sure it was slowly at first, in bits and pieces of news, and then perhaps a little anxiety that it would make its way over to our shores, and then suddenly everything stopped. Most of us think of life right now as before or now. We take a big deep breath as we breathe in that stress and we let it go. We breathe in calm of the new year and we send out hope. Just because everything started to unravel in March does not mean that has to be the end of all the good things that happened to us. We move into April, from Adar to Nisan, the month of spring, the month of Pesach. We think about the themes of the holiday: renewal, rebirth, newfound freedom, none of which we were able to experience this year as we celebrated our holiday alone in our homes? What struggles in your life did you experience this year? Were there issues or difficulties that you were able to overcome? We draw in a big, deep breath. And we let it go. Many of us have been mourning the months from March until now, but we no longer need to mourn them. We think about May. It feels like it just happened in our isolated and slow-moving lives. May is the Hebrew month of Iyar. In the secular year, it is a time for closings and endings. We have graduations and end-of-year celebrations. We think about endings that occurred in our lives this year. What issues or relationships or situations came to a close in the past 12 months? We take a deep breath in and we let it out. We move from May into June and into the month of Sivan, the month that holds the holiday of Shavuot, the holiday that celebrates receiving Torah. We think about the learning that we were able to do this year. What things did you learn this year about yourself, about the world, about your children, about your spouse, your parents, your friends, your family? What did we learn? What sort of an impact did that learning have on us? We breathe in and let it out. And another deep breath in. And we release. I don't know about y'all, but I'm never able to get through a meditation without yawning. We take another deep breath in. And one out. From June into July and August, through the Hebrew months of Tammuz and Av, with our hot and humid weather. In the Hebrew calendar, these months are a time to think about history and loss. We think about the losses in our lives this year. In what ways did we grieve? In what ways did we experience pain? Were we able to share it, even if over Zoom? We take a deep breath in. And we let go of those losses, of that grief. This year we've done so much grieving. And now it's time for Rosh Hashanah, for newness and rebirth and renewal, letting go of bitterness and embracing sweetness. And here we are in the new year making promises and setting goals. But before we do that, we should take just a few more minutes and a few more deep breaths to remember the journey of the past year and to accept and let go of the past so that it doesn't keep us from moving on. We breathe in, we breathe out. We remember, we let go. Imagine that you have something in your pocket. You reach your hand into that pocket, and what you touch is something that has been on your heart and on your mind this year. Something you may have said or done that has stayed with you. It might be something that harmed someone else or caused a divide of some sort. So you should wrap your fingers around it, whatever it is. Bring it out of your pocket. Hold it in your hand tight. Focus on it. Focus on its weight. Notice its texture. Notice how much space it takes up in your hand. Draw in a deep breath and release. Let it go for a moment and then wrap your fingers around it once more, feeling the full sensation and thinking about what you're holding in your hand. On the count of 3, I want you to loosen your fingers, relax your hand, and allow it to fall away. 1, 2, 3. Notice your hand. How does it feel now that it's empty? Now that you aren't holding that weight? Take a deep breath and release. You notice that there's something in your other pocket. And so you reach your hand in, and what you touch is something that you've done secretly or privately. Something that you may not yet have owned. Something you maybe even forgot was there. This might be something that harmed or affected you more than anyone else. Wrap your fingers around it. Pull it up out of your pocket. Hold it in your hand. Focus on it, on its weight. Notice its texture and how much space it takes up in your hand. Does it feel the same weight as the other object? Take a deep breath in and out. Feeling the full sensation of thinking about what you're holding in your hand. On the count of 3, loosen your fingers. Relax your hand and let it fall away. 1, 2, 3. How does your hand feel now that it's empty? Now that it no longer has that heavy weight in it? Notice the feeling. We draw in a deep breath and release. You look to the side and you notice that there is water gently flowing nearby. You approach it. You reach out and you gently touch the surface. How does it feel? You reach both of your hands down and place both hands into the water, knowing that you are now able to fully let go of the feelings of those objects that you are holding on to. You feel your fingers intertwine with each other. You feel the water on your palms and all the way on the backs of your hands. As you slowly lift your hands up out of the water, words come into your mind. You've released the objects, your hands are clean, and there are words forming gently in your mind, coming to your lips. Those words represent the full release of this past year. Breathe in and hold those words in your mind and in your breath. Breathe them in and exhale them. Stretch your hands and fingers out, feeling the freedom of just having nothing in them in this moment. We slowly begin to sit up and to come back to our collective presence, to move our bodies a little more. As you come back to this moment, may you acknowledge that all that which the future will bring, wonderful new experiences, new friends you haven't met yet, new family members who haven't even been born yet, the future will also bring new difficulties and challenges. And we will greet these too with presence, with holiness, and with acceptance. Shana Tova. I look forward to praying with you for our second morning Rosh Hashanah service.